Good morning, Earthlings. So to let you all know, we are still in a spiritual war with the dark forces, the forces of the darkness, as I call them. So I'm going to talk about symptoms that you feel in your body, and I'm going to start here because the problem that we have is not believing in magic. So everyone's like, oh, you have to believe in magic for it to work. No, that is not actually what happens. What actually happens is you're getting attacked, you've got something wrong, you don't know what it is, and there seems to be no sort of physical cause, and you suffer, and sometimes you suffer for years. So I will tell you about this one, and there was like a binding put around my ankles, and it was quite squeezy, and it felt like my Achilles had been cut. It was very painful, and I would wake up in the morning and I wouldn't be able to walk properly for probably about 5 minutes. I was very like this with my movement until I could get sort of like going for the day. Now, I carried on like that for years, and quite long years, quite progressive, so I'm talking maybe 7. And then I was sitting down one evening, I was working with the scissors, and I was sitting down and like on the ground kind of idea, and I just thought, because at this time I was conscious of lots of different witchcraft things, so I just thought, I was like, I wonder if there's something around my ankles. So I took the scissors and I slid them down the side of my skin and past my feet. And do you know what? It took it away. So there was some sort of a binding that had been placed around my feet. And I'm just going to move on from there. And there was like, so this guy got me with this sexual energy, hooks, and it was like this most intense sexual feeling that you could ever feel. I was like, oh my gosh, and I tell you, I thought that it was a strong spiritual connection. I believed, because because of the energy. And of course, as I'm going to tell you all, I thought that this person was like my twin flame. But I think a twin flame, I don't know, I don't want to talk really about that stuff, but I think that it can help advance your abilities, if you would know what I mean. So anyway, I had this really strong sexual energy, and like it was strong, and so I had that for years, and it was always linked as well. And when it were sometimes, and it could also coincide with some sort of a path crossing and just all this other stuff. But I didn't know it was magic. And now, one time, this is when I had the scissors out. I think it was the same time as my ankles, and I was like, well, I wonder if that sexual energy, that like it's nearly capacitated my physical movement, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh my god, like that. It was quite intense. So anyway, I got the scissors and I cut. Now I had to do that, I think 3 times, because it actually, sort of like, it actually came back like that, sort of crept back. So I had to do a few chippies, like propers, and the metal scissors, just normal metal scissors, and it works. So so it took a couple of times, and the next time it came back, because of course it plays with your mind as well. So the next time it came back, I was like, is that magic, or is that actually a some sort of impression I'm getting? Because I can also have impressions, I walk between realms, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, I gave it another snip because I thought that if something was genuine that crossed my path, then, as in other people, of course, why is that? Why am I not getting this sort of like intensity? It's the intensity of the either pain or whatever. So, okay, that's those to my feet. And of course, if you remember, I don't know if you do, but I had a very strong, something terrible happened to me, and my whole belly swelled out really, really large, like I was 9 months pregnant. And it was so bad that I couldn't even, when I was sitting on the toilet, I couldn't even wipe my own bottom because of this pressure that had built up in my tummy. My diaphragm collapsed. I stopped breathing twice. I became anaphylactic, and I was highly allergic to things, and it was bad. And I did know that it was witchcraft. Let's put it that way, because nobody could be slaughtered like that without realizing something is going on. So I did, and I was really weak. But I all I did was I told Lord Shiva about it. I was like, guys, it's really hard, I can't breathe, I'm doing this and that, and blah, blah, blah. And all I did was only speak to Lord Shiva about these things, and that is your reward. So what I'm saying is, they tried to kill me in more ways than one, other than burning my car. So when I told you about my car, read the Reckoning one. So there was like my car. I'd love to do a little thingy. Oh, shivers. I've been looking for these. So there's like this car. This car was the one that was literally burned to flame. The heat was so strong, popped these windows out, melted the side down this car. The door was like melted shut, and my cabin was right there. The heat was permeating all over, and it was this deep red glow. There was quite a lot that happened, and and my car that had been burned to nothing wasn't just a normal car. That car was just covered in my art, and the bonnet had a massive stencil I'd done, and my little granddaughters had worked on the side of it. I love you, Nan. And something like happy birthday, and there's like the sun, and there was like these birds, and there was hearts, and there was the stars, and the girls were little when they did that, and they were my artists, and that was the car that the agents of the darkness decided to burn. So it really hurt my feelings deeply, because a lot of love had gone into that vehicle, and it was my pride. So in saying that, there's a lot more that the darkness did and destroyed my family. And I lost contact with all they stopped talking to me. So everyone stopped talking to me, and I didn't know why. And the grief was horrendous, and my children's father committed suicide, and just everything. And then 2020 came, and people around me died, and then my people that I'd known all my life had strokes and died. And then I've lost my focus, I'm sorry, so I'm going to stop there. But I want you to know that people always say, I say people, I don't know what I'm talking about, but they was like, you have to believe in magic for magic to be real. But in actual fact, you have to believe that magic is real. And get active with your scissors